So, the most anticipated game of the week, the most important, you have the 10-3 Saints taking on the 12-1 Kansas City. Now, Chiefs. Now, if the Kansas City Chiefs win out, obviously they're going to get the 1 seed in the AFC. It's not even a question. If they lose this game, they're in a little bit of a pickle, right? Obviously, they're probably going to win their last 2 games, but I don't know how the tiebreakers work with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But the fact is, the Steelers have a hard schedule down the stretch, playing the Colts and the Browns. And the fact is, I don't know if they'll beat both those teams, right? So, I think it's a pretty fair bet that this is a huge game for the Chiefies, right? So a huge game for the Saints, too. If they want to stay in contention for that number 1 seed, you gotta beat the Chiefies, right? Right now, the Packers have it on the thing of the tiebreaker, right? But the fact is, the Saints down the stretch schedule of the Vikings and the Panthers is a much easier down the field stretch than the Titans and Bears, right? Vikings have shown that they're mediocre at best, and I'm hoping the Vikings will not, in fact, make the playoffs, because, God, that's terrifying. But normally we beat the Vikings in the regular season. It's the postseason where we have trouble. Panthers, I think we should beat. Obviously, Matt Rule's coaches a good team, so I don't know. That's not a for sure game, but I feel like we should beat the Panthers. Now, on the other hand, Packers still have to play the Titans. A very good Titans team. A team that's playing very well recently. And then they play the Bears, a team that also is playing very well recently. Mitchell Trubisky is on point. And his first start was against the Packers on Sunday Night Football, and he was absolutely atrocious. But again, that was his first start back, and he's looked good in his last 2 starts, and I feel like he's going to look good this week. So, New Orleans Saints really can't afford to lose this game. They got to stay in the playoff, the number 1 seed race. And plus, if they win, they lock down the division, which is very important because I don't like the Bucs and I don't want them to win the division, obviously. The Chiefs have no notable injuries, really. You still have the same people out. Kalichi Asameli, I don't know if he's going to return for the playoffs, but he's on IR. I don't know, he might be out for the year. And then you have Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher, obviously your offensive tackles between Cameron Jordan, Marcus Davenport, and Trey Hendrickson should have a field day. But then you also have an injury to Damian Wilson. Well, that might not sound like a huge injury, but he is the quarterback of the defense, so it's not that small of an injury either. But other than that, they don't really have any major injuries on offense other than the line. And only one kind of important injury on defense. Darwin Thompson is also injured, if you cared, like, at all. I don't care. He's a running back, and he's not even close to being on the field a decent amount of time, so it doesn't really matter. Saints, on the other hand, has had a notable injury. Look, there is no Michael Thomas jersey that shows you Michael Thomas will not be playing this game and will not be playing for the rest of the regular season. They hope to get him back for the postseason, but dang if that hurts. Drew Brees, in fact, will be back, which is why I'd like to have all 3 jerseys up at one point. It just doesn't happen very often this season for my Saints. Other notable injuries, obviously Marquez Callaway went on to IR. He will be out till the end of the year. Hopefully we get him back for the postseason. P. Rob went on to IR as well. Patrick Robinson, our third corner, kind of our nickelback. He's on the IR, so we hope to get him back in the postseason as well. And no, Puppers, stop it. You can't leave no matter how much you are mad that we're not talking about the Jets. And then Benny Fowler, anyone who follows the Saints, which probably most of you don't, Benny Fowler is our 6th string receiver. So 3 of our 6 receivers we started the year with will not be playing for the rest of the year, which means we've got to work with what we've got. Emmanuel Sanders is obviously a nice talent, Traquan Smith, and Deontay Harris, all very valuable players on this football team. Hopefully we can find a way to get Juwan Johnson involved more. He's a very tall receiver, and I feel like he's exciting. I hope Tommy Lee Lewis goes back to the practice squad, because honestly, I can't stand Tommy Lee Lewis. I think he's not a good football player at all. And Deontay Harris kind of fits that role perfectly for our offense. So, then we had... So this game's going to be close, obviously. And, also a notable injury, I forgot to mention, Malcolm Brown in our middle will not be playing this game either. Didn't really... Well, it did kind of bother us. As you know, our streak ended against the Eagles last week when Miles Sanders rushed for over 100 yards. So, it kind of sucks, but there's a bright side of that game. Our receivers looked really good, and Malcolm Roach emerged himself as a good defensive tackle. So we have Malcolm Roach, who's been playing well. Obviously, you have Sheldon Rankins and David Onyemata, the two best, and Shai Tuttle, who's also very good. So it's going to be a nice rotation, even without Malcolm Brown on the field. Chiefs, on the other hand, I don't know how their defense will hold up. Drew Brees is back this week. It's going to be interesting. Marcus Williams is also out for the Saints with undisclosed something. I don't know what the heck's going on with Marcus Williams, but I feel like PJ, I don't know who's starting over there outside of Malcolm Jenkins, but I hope he's good. I really like the Saints. I liked the Saints before Michael Thomas got hurt. That's the problem, though. Michael Thomas is such a huge part of our offense. That's like, if he's honestly our best player when we touch the offense. But like I said, we got Alvin Kamara. Emmanuel Sanders is also not a bad option, and Drew Brees was able to do it before with no Michael Thomas. So I don't know. I think the Chiefs, personally, I think they'll probably win this one, which sucks as a Saints fan. But no Michael Thomas. I was going to pick them before I went in the news. No Michael Thomas. No Michael Thomas really changed my opinion. I think the Chiefs will win. The spread's 3. It's hard to cover a spread of 3, but I'll pick my Saints to cover it.